Inevitably, when discussing the pros and cons between different types of gold, I'll get this comment: gold is gold. Is that true? Let's look into some problems with this premise. Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. I've never subscribed to the notion that gold is gold. Frankly, the entire premise is idiotic. It shows a complete lack of understanding of the purpose of stacking precious metals, and it builds on this doom porn so many folks get excited about. The premise of the gold is gold crowd is, in an economic collapse, all gold will be viewed in terms of its weight and value to the gold price. So, there is no point buying a coin or a bar with a premium attached to it. Many of you watching this video immediately see the problem with the logic here. These individuals are basing their entire gold stack on some event which may or may not happen in their lifetime. Additionally, just because a collapse happens, does that automatically mean all gold will be viewed in terms of just its weight? Why is this a problem? Isn't that what all of us stackers are doing? My answer is no, and here's why. A problem here, not necessarily the main problem, is that getting gold for as close a spot as possible has not been feasible for many years. Sure, there have been some spot deals where one can get a bar for spot, but they aren't bulk buying gold in this manner. It's a one-off event that rarely occurs, especially in 2023. That 1 ounce gold bar for spot promotion that I shared 6 months ago now says that they are out of stock. In order to stack gold for close to spot, you're buying a hodgepodge of gold items. Maybe it's jewelry, maybe it's gold teeth, or the occasional 10-gram bar. These individuals are not getting gold eagles consistently for spot. And let's say you pass away before this collapse happens. Now your family either keeps this hodgepodge pile of gold or they sell it. And if they sell it, rest assured, they will probably have to go to a coin shop or a pawn shop. Very few people want to buy scrap gold. And when they sell it, they will get less than spot for it. Its value will never rise above the value of gold. And that is if the dealer wants to buy this scrap gold. And beyond that, it's also if the dealer buys scrap gold. Some coin shops don't do that. Right now, and for the last 6 months or so, we have been in a high demand period for gold. But there have been many points in the past where demand for gold has dropped to nothing. One argument I hear consistently has been, when the crap hits the fan, all gold will be seen as gold. And yes, if the crap does hit the fan, for a brief period of time, this statement will be true. And why is it brief? Well, because bad times don't last forever. When was the last time the United States had a complete societal collapse? I would argue the Civil War, but many people could argue the Great Depression was another point. And what is the timeline of collapses here in the United States? Look at specific events and the time in between them. Oftentimes, a generation of time is between those events. And how long did these scenarios last? 5, maybe 6 years? And then things improve. You also have to look at the type and level of societal collapse. Is it Mad Max level, or just a currency collapse like Venezuela? Both are a collapse, but vastly different. In a Mad Max collapse scenario, you're not going to want to show your gold to people. You will be immediately targeted. Gold is for rational individuals, and rationale has left the building in this scenario. In a currency collapse like Venezuela, society still functions to a point. Things might devolve for a few months, but eventually, trade resumes. You're not going to want to trade in the currency that just failed. In both scenarios, gold will be viewed as gold, but only in one will it be usable. What type of collapse do you see happening? Given that most people say SHTF or World War III, I'd say it's closer to the Mad Max level. And here's the irony of it all. You're stacking gold for a situation in which you can't use it? That's smart. In addition to each of the scenarios I mentioned, things inevitably get better. And when things get better, gold will not just be viewed at its base value. Look at this 1853 gold dollar in front of you. It has survived through multiple wars, economic downturns, and regular turbulence that every country goes through. It is not valued at its melt gold value. It's worth many multiples above its melt value and continues rising in price. Why stack for something that is so infrequent and brief? I stack for all times. I'm not going to base my entire stack on something that may not happen. My gold has many different uses. I have the my gold is gold for that possible currency collapse scenario. If this scenario happens, I can use scrap gold without digging into my buffaloes, eagles, or collectible items. I also have my collectible gold that will be passed to future generations. This gold performs particularly well in bad economic times. We saw the price of collectible gold coins skyrocket during the '08 currency crisis. We are seeing the premiums on these coins skyrocket right now. So if you're looking at it from the stance of just an economic crisis, those collectible coins are doing pretty good. Unfortunately, we don't have a chart for the collectible coins going back to, I'd say, past the 60s. We could see like what certain items sold for, but realistically, there isn't just a chart that goes back and spans 150 years. But I will say, all of these gold and silver coins survived for a reason. If they were viewed for just their metal content, they would have been melted down long ago. Given that a societal collapse is so infrequent and doesn't last long, I'm not going to stack gold for just that. Please don't pipe in saying that this time will be different. You don't know that. And people have been saying that message for a very long time. That doesn't mean I disagree that the next collapse will be bigger and more harmful than previous ones. I've just learned to not underestimate the length our system will go to keep people in the dark. Since 2008, we have seen firsthand how the government steps in to prevent the public from recognizing what's going on. They prevent businesses, certain businesses, from failing. You know the term, too big to fail. First, we had a bank bailout, and those were not popular. We had a massive recession. Now, we have bank bailouts, but they don't call them bank bailouts. They're getting bailed out, but they're like, oh, it's not that. It's not using taxpayer money. Don't worry about that. Don't look in that direction. We were heading right into the definition of a recession, but we started funding this proxy war in Ukraine. Pumping billions into the military-industrial complex has prevented the United States from entering into the technical definition of a recession. If we stop funding Ukraine today, that's where we'll be heading. But who's to say that they won't just change the definitions like they frequently do? Public perception is what keeps the charade going. Remember, it's a confidence game. Once confidence is lost, the game is over.
Please clear the field. Please clear the field.
What are you, out of your mind? Ladies and gentlemen, well, I guess we had you fooled there for a minute. But it's all part of the show. Stay in your seats, please.
Gold is not just a hedge against inflation to me. It has so many uses. I can't limit myself to end-of-time stacking, and you shouldn't either. If you're part of the gold is gold crowd, awesome. I'm good for you. I'm not trying to convince you to change otherwise. Buy all the cheap gold that you can. Just don't be super surprised when no one wants to buy it from you. Or if they do, you're getting bottom yuan for it. Get it? Because the dollar is dead and we will be using another currency at that point. Also, don't be surprised when your transaction is reported to the IRS. American gold and silver bullion doesn't have the same reporting requirements that gold bars and other foreign gold coins do. One reason of many, American gold has higher premiums. If you're looking for more info on gold, I've included a playlist in the comments section of this video. Your time is your most precious asset, and I appreciate you spending it here with me. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.